Welcome to the One More Thing Tech Podcast. I'm host Adam.
And I'm Quasi.
So you guys don't know this, but we've had lots of technical difficulties this morning trying to record, but we finally are
Just the
pulling.
most ever.
It was just insane. But we're here, ready to go.
This
And
is true.
speaking of things that are actually kind of like an issue, I would say, there's actually an outrageous amount of people that are just upset about the very first topic, Quasi. So I really wanted you to take this and let's have a little chat about it.
Yeah. So basically, our first topic for today is going to be how Sony announced that for all new PlayStation games starting in 2028, there's no longer going to be a physical version, right? It's only going to be a digital version. And there's a lot of backlash because people think that they like the or the physical version. And I can see that, right? There's some good reasons to like the physical version. For example, sometimes games get deleted, and once it gets deleted, you can't get it back. But here's the thing, Adam. Do you know how many physical games I currently own? Zero. I own zero.
Zero.
Yeah. And I would assume you don't have that many for your current Xbox, right? And anybody who has an Xbox Series S just doesn't own any physical games at all, right? So I think that it's not as big of a deal as we're making it out to be. However, I do see, like, I'm not trying to say Sony's right in this. I'm not a fan of this either, right? I think that you should always have a physical option and a digital option. But the thing is, today you buy the physical option just so that you can download the digital, right? It just doesn't make sense to me. You still got to install the game. So it just, to me, I couldn't care less because the direction we're moving in, DVDs can't hold that same amount, or they can hold the same amount, but they can't hold the entire game these days. So, like,
Especially GTA 6.
yeah, GTA 6 is going to be dang near impossible to run off of the disk storage. So,
So I want to kind of give some interesting takes with this. I want to see what your point is.
okay,
So besides the obvious of, like you mentioned, if the game gets removed from an app store, game store, Sony, Xbox doesn't really matter, right?
yeah,
You're not going to be able to re-download that. Now, sometimes if you purchased it previously, you can still re-download it if you want to. But let's just say I'm like Quasi. Ratchet and Clank, great game, you should get it. You don't own it. They removed it off the store. I own it, you don't. Now you can't play it, right? Unless you get the disc version of this.
right,
The issue also becomes the partnership that they might have with retailers, right? So you can currently buy a digital code from a retailer into a disc. The disc part's going away. So if the only option you're going to have is going to be digital only, why would you buy the box set with digital code? Is a question that I have. People still will because they want the actual, cover for nostalgic reasons. I own this kind of stuff. That's like the reason people probably do that, like GTA 6 exactly for that reason. But if I'm only able to go and get a digital code from a retailer, why would I even bother doing that? Right? To me, that makes no sense. It's like saying, Quasi, I'm going to send you a text, but getting this text while you're at Dunkin' Donuts is way better than it is going at your house. You see, like, it
mm,
doesn't make sense. You can get it in either spot. So that's another issue with it. But I think the biggest issue people are saying is this. If Quasi buys on his PS5 Red Dead Redemption 2, for instance, which is a phenomenal game, by the way, on his PS5 PS Store purchase, he can't share that with another friend unless he comes and plays on his console. That's the issue people have is I take this disc and then bring it to a friend, let him borrow and play it, see if he likes it, and then he might want to purchase it later on. But what if he doesn't want to spend $20 to $50 in this game if he doesn't know he's going to like it? So I know he has to still put in his console and he has to download. I get all that stuff, right? That still has to happen. But the sharing aspect of the game and the owning it is what people are upset the most about. Because here's what can happen. If something happens with your account, let's say Mr. Hackey goes into Quincy's
Oh, not
account,
Mr. Hackey.
does bad stuff on his account, calls out kids in Call of Duty or Fortnite or whatever, right? And now Quincy's account gets banned. All the games that you
That
purchased
just
are
could not be
gone.
great.
They're all gone. But if you have the disc, you could make a new account and then put those games back on your account with a new account. Now they can make a change with Sony where this disc has to get authenticated with per account, and then that's all it can be used for. They can do some other things like that too. I'm saying though is you have options to get those games back if the disc is there. But without that, you can't.
This is
So
true.
I can see both sides. I prefer digital because I don't want to have to go to the store, hope they
Right.
have it in stock, go
But
back home.
there's a lot of great sales on physical games.
But there's so many good sales on digital games too. So that doesn't even hold water either. In fact, there's better sales on digital because guess who has it? Sony or
So or
Xbox.
Steam. Steam has it.
Steam's incredible too, but they're also killing that. I think one thing people forget is Sony is going through right now like a midlife crisis, I would say. This isn't the first thing they've done, right? Let's just go through the last three things that they've done, which is bad. The first thing, which I think is the most egregious, they're taking off the games that they make from Steam.
I just don't think that's a midlife
Horrendous,
crisis.
stupid thing that they're doing.
Okay.
Okay, now you're gonna make less money, first off. Secondly, not in the gaming sector at all, but their actual movies of Sony, they changed their licensing recently, and they dropped so many studios and locations where you can actually get these movies and stuff. So if you bought a movie as a Sony movie, let's say it's iTunes or Amazon, whatever it was that they're talking about, that's gone. Off your account, not there. You paid money for it. You get no refund. Forget you. That's the second thing they've done. Terrible thing they've done. And third is this. The thing is this. No one's making a change.org to have Sony do this. No one wanted this. They want to stay the same. Does it cost them a lot to make this disc? Not at all. It's super cheap,
Oh, yeah, I
right?
promise you it's not.
I would say it's probably cheaper for Sony to make a disc version of this game than to keep paying monthly fees for storage on servers to make that the only option that you have to get these games. I know it's there anyway, but this is a different way to put at least some of the storage from the disk, not all of it. I'm kind of in the between with this. But there is, I would say, like 98% of people that are Sony fans right now so pissed about this choice. They are canceling PlayStation Plus. They are canceling Crunchyroll, which is owned by Sony, I guess, and various
Yeah.
other things because of this very thing. They are losing money now. People are upset now about this, and they've said nothing. That's the issue. PR and people in Sony had to realize if you're going to post something like that, you're going to have a reaction, and you have to respond to that reaction in whatever way you seem fit. But you gotta do something. Saying nothing is making this way worse. That's the thing I have. What are your thoughts, Quasey?
Yeah, so I don't think I agree with the midlife crisis per se,
Why?
right? And guys, sorry about my camera angle today. We had to quickly switch to my iPad, so if it looks like I'm looking down at you or I'm not looking at you today, is we have a bunch of issues going on. But I don't think I agree with this midlife crisis because Sony taking their games off of Steam isn't isn't like a crazy thing to do, right? I think that it's
Why?
well within their rights. And
Why?
you're only upset because now you have to go out and purchase a PlayStation, which is the cheapest console you can buy right now, right? The cheapest flagship console you can buy right now because Xbox just had to raise their prices again. Um,
Can I pause you for 1 second?
and
Sorry for the interruption.
go ahead.
Quasey, are you gonna buy a Switch 2 to play the new Mario Kart?
No,
That's my point.
no,
I'm
no, no.
not saying I hate the
You know
Sony
just as well as
PlayStation.
I do that the Switch 2 is a predatory console. Right?
That's very
It's
true, but same
it's
concept, though.
predatory. I'm not gonna buy something that's predatory. Now, the PlayStation, it's predatory if you're on the outside, but if you buy one,
Well, let's look at
you're
this,
on the
though.
inside, you know?
It's kinda the same thing. Think about this. It's a game that now you can only buy on this exact console, and that is it. Switch 2, that's a game you can only buy on that console, and that is it. It's kinda the same thing. The difference is the hardware. Same back-end concept.
No, I think that with the hardware of the Switch 2, first and foremost, a cartridge that you have to just download the game anyway is gonna run you an extra $10. I think that's actually crazy.
Exactly what they're doing now for the PlayStation too.
Um, disc doesn't cost you 10 extra bucks. The disc version of the game and the
It's
physical
going
version of the game are the
away.
exact same price. Yeah, it's
Okay.
going away.
Maybe the
It's
price is
in
not
2028.
the
But
difference, but just what you get.
anything before 2028, that'll keep a disc version. It's not they're not like they're not like
But
just banning it. And
eh,
2028's almost 2 years away.
but this is what I've said before. Sony and now Nintendo are the only game developers slash console manufacturers that are forcing you to get their console to play their games. If they do not make much money off the console, I do not comprehend at all why they do that.
I
It's
promise
one
you
thing, they
I
do. They
promise you the only
don't.
reason that Xbox doesn't do that is because Xbox is owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft wants you to game on your PC. If if Sony owned Microsoft, I promise you the games would be on PC, right? So
Well,
it's not like
funny you should
Xbox
say
is just
that,
all
Quasey.
high and mighty.
Funny you should say that because it looks like the direction I see Xbox going is Microsoft might be selling off Xbox to be its own entity, which I think would be great.
Yeah, but I mean, you already have that framework. You can't get rid of it now, you know?
I'm not saying they should get rid of it. What I'm saying is this, though. It's do you feel like that when you buy a game and you can play on more than one console or platform, that that is a better value for your money than it would not be?
Yeah, but even if I buy a game on PlayStation, right, I can't play that exact same game on my Xbox unless I purchase it again. So it's
That's my
not as
point. I can play on Xbox or my PC, and then coming soon, Steam Deck and Steam Machine. If I buy a game on Steam, I'll be able to play it on my Windows computer, Mac if it works on Mac, Steam Machine, Steam VR AR headsets coming out, the Steam Frame, and Steam Deck. And the next Xbox will also let you play your Steam games. That's a big value for me because I buy the game once, I can play it on multiple platforms. Don't restrict the user. But if they're not making money off the console, what's the beneficial reason behind it? Right?
couldn't
If
tell you.
that's what my question is. I wanna know why that is such a big push for them. "Oh, it's our exclusive platform, you gotta come over to us." That is like it's grouping people where it doesn't need to be grouped. You can make money off the game, which is they make more money off the games they do than the actual consoles, it's a fact, look up yourself, I promise you they do. So if
No,
that's the
I know.
case, why would they restrict that? Because now what you're saying is, "Buy our console, we make less money on so you can buy our game." Or buy our game not having to buy the console, leaving you in a better money situation, maybe buy 2 games or so on. I could spend $500 on Sony games, Quasi, and they make more money off that than I would buying an X or the PlayStation plus a game. You see my point? That's my whole
Yeah.
point. So that for me to me makes no financial sense. Now, like you said, they want you to buy their console, okay? So they had a great arrangement where it came out on Steam later on. I'm willing to work with that. That makes sense to me. Encourage your console purchase and the game so you can play it there first and it comes out on PC later. That worked for me, right? That got their money and then that worked great. The fact that they're killing that makes it like it's like they walked into a brick wall and they don't know what to do anymore. They are making awful choices that everybody is not getting happy about. No one's like, "This is a great idea." Not one person saying that. That's the problem. There are people saying, "Well, I don't really care because I just buy digital," and yet people that are really pissed, but no one's saying, "This is a phenomenal choice. I love what they're doing." No one's saying that. That's the problem. If everybody is saying this is a terrible idea, and they're doing nothing to change it because that means they don't care about what the consumers think, and that is the issue that
Yeah.
we run into. Like, does that change your perspective a little bit? I'm not saying that you need to be upset about this case. I'm saying is the masses have spoken, and do you agree or disagree with them?
No, I think the masses are wrong.
If I'm the one that gets bashed more in this episode, I'm gonna be very shocked. I'm not trying to just be an anti-Sony fan here. I'm saying is they're making choices that their user base is not happy with, and they don't seem to care about whatever people are saying, and people's voices are not feeling like they're getting heard by Sony, and that's the problem I have. You know, if I walked up to Quasi and punched him in the face and no one cared about it, then what makes my choice in the future change? You know? So if we speak up with Sony and say this is not good, we don't like this, and they say nothing, you just don't care, does that sway people to go to Sony anymore? In fact, it's doing the opposite. You know, people are switching to PC now because of this very reason, because Steam
I
wouldn't
don't
do
know if
something
I've
like
actually
this.
seen anybody switch,
People are look at the
but
comments
Steam would
of
not do something like this. Steam is like the most
dude,
user.
they
They
are
actually care.
awesome. They are awesome. They do whatever they can to make your experience incredible, and they go out of their way to do that. That's why, like, I'm getting more and more away from the console side of things and going to the PC side because, man, there's just much more everything. I could do mods if I want to. I can do a lot more with the game. I can do it more devices. Like, yeah, I like Xbox, so I'm not saying I don't like that. And, we'll talk about some other things that they're doing in this episode, but it's just to me like you have to question if there is a rational choice like this made by Sony, which is their right to do, and they are just saying nothing. That is the worst. Almost as worse as them saying what they said, right? It's just that people, when there is an issue, want to be heard, and I feel like they're not being heard. You cannot go on that topic on X that they posted and not see more comments like every 2 seconds because people are so upset about this. Like, I don't know, Quasi, I guess what I'm trying to say is this, that I understand from their viewpoint why this is a massive issue, and so many people like, I had not seen some people agree on something in my life ever, you know? Like, the amount of people that were patriotic about this country during 9/11 was less than this, unfortunately.
Really?
Right? There's way more people pissed about this as a planet Earth than there was people upset about 9/11, which is a kind of a sad thing. But I'm saying is it's affecting people and, the question then becomes when it is 2028, what's gonna happen for the discs? Is that gonna stop working? Is it gonna be restricted so you can't even use that? You can't
No,
play
no,
the
no.
disc anymore? Like, we don't know
You'll be able to use the disc. It's just that no new games will come out with discs. That's all.
for now.
No, no, like no new PlayStation games will have a disc.
I mean, and like, okay, they only them not only did that, the Vita, all those games in PS4 games, done. You can't even put them into the PS5 anymore after that date. Another issue.
I don't think you could put in a PS Vita game into your
Not Vita,
PlayStation 5.
PS4.
Yeah.
So, like, they're killing off those 2. You see,
I don't
like,
think they're
those
killing
are
off the disk drive function. I think that they're killing off
well,
the new physical discs.
you could be sure the PS6 will be without a disk drive, period.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Which
expecting
is
that though.
keep this in mind too. One thing that Sony did very great, and this is why I bought a PS3, is the Blu-ray disc function. I could
This
play
is
a
true.
Blu-ray movie in that PS3, which is the cheapest at the time for a Blu-ray player, and people utilize that to this day. So even if you're removing the whole games can't be used on a disc, they're killing that side of things too, which is another issue. And I just don't like it. I don't like the direction they're going. They're making rational changes, and I don't see the benefit of them doing this. Like, is it really draining their entire bank account having discs? They're not saying that. No one's ever said that at Sony. And there's gotta be a reason behind this that they're not telling us, and that's the other part of it. They had this big post that, we're killing us off, we're making direction changes, like an HR person would, saying, "Well, your jobs is going away because we're making some changes in the company," and never explain why. That's the problem. What's the core reason behind this? I wanna
Okay,
know that.
you know how I'm sorry, I cut you off, but you know what company's having a lot of major changes?
Yeah.
Xbox. I just thought you should
Oh,
know.
we're gonna talk about that too, because that's another issue, but it's a little different. Say the least. They're not killing off the disc side of games, which I don't think they're going to do now because of this very thing. But let's talk about that, Quasi. Let's
Yeah,
discuss this a little bit. Okay, so Asha has announced
one of the greatest
that
CEOs in CEO history.
3,200 layoffs, including 1,600 today. Well, this is yesterday. And 4 studios are leaving the management with Microsoft. Now, this is a big change. And a lot of people are upset about this as well. Not as much as Sony stuff, but this is equally not as good. So what they're doing is they're killing off a lot of people specifically within certain studios within Xbox, and they're
They're doing
selling
what to
one of them.
these people? They're killing them?
Let's rephrase
No,
that. They are
no.
restructuring and removing jobs of people for 3,200 people.
Yeah,
That's probably a bad way of saying it too. They're laying off people. They're firing them, okay? They're getting rid of people,
people are getting fired.
okay? Like Sony's firing the discs of PlayStation. Microsoft is doing this as well.
Yeah,
So,
with actual people.
yes. That's a lot of people, right? That's a lot of people going away. Now, let's kind of backtrack on what's kind of happened here. Phil Spencer, when he was in charge of Xbox, granted, when he first took control, he had a lot of problems that he had to fix because it was kind of in a bad shape then, and he did a lot of great stuff. Let's not say he did not, he did. Towards the end of his career, he kind of was just smooth sailing and not doing much, and, this is why this had to change. But with this, he purchased so many game studios to hopefully bring Xbox back up to a better stance. That didn't really work out so well because he didn't just buy studios to continue making those games. He kind of merged a lot of them into 1 or 2 or 3 studios, and it was oversaturated. It didn't really work out well. You can see that it didn't really help the industry like they thought it would. So I think what's happening here more than anything is they're getting rid of some people that might be just too much for what they really need. First off, Xbox is not doing as well as it should be right now. Unfortunately, we're in this stance, just how it is. They have about 30 million people on Game Pass, which is a lot of people, mind you, but there's also cost of operations and things that are just happening, and maybe they're not putting out what they like, but there's a reason behind all this stuff, and there's a whole email that you can see right from Asha, and she put on Twitter as well, so you can read that. But this may sound awful, right? But at the same time, it's kind of like what Elon Musk did at Twitter. He fired a bunch of people, not good, but realized that not everybody was needing to make the operation run as it should. So I think what's happening here is there's too many people, their budgets are way above where it should be, and to get back into a better stance to focus funds on specific things to make it better, they have to do this. Unfortunately, make that happen. And the problem with this is people are getting let go, right? People are losing their jobs. It's not good at all. But there's a reason behind this, and I'm curious to see how this plays out in the next 5 or 6 months because this better mean that when this happens, the games are gonna get better. They have more specific, IPs that get brought back up because right now Xbox is kinda in a dead stance of, like, making games that are just Xbox games. They have Halo and Gears of War and, well, Call of Duty kinda, but it's not exclusive. So that's not a big selection. So you see there's way more with Sony right now in the market. This better change for the good if this is what they're gonna do. What are your thoughts, Quasi?
Yeah, so obviously layoffs at big companies. I wouldn't say that they're ever good, right? These are people, right? And they have actual lives, they have families that they need to feed and whatnot, right? So first and foremost, my heart goes out to all. With that being said, um, I'm not gonna let you sit here and try and put a positive spin on this. I'm not gonna let you do that because first and foremost, this is a terrible thing to happen, and you were just on PlayStation about something that's not gonna affect the lives of however many people, right? I hope that every single one of those people who gets fired gets hired by Sony today, right? Obviously, that's not gonna happen, but if it does, that'd be pretty great. Um, but the important thing that you guys need to know is that 20% of Xbox employees of the gaming workforce have been fired, and pretty much all of those guys just got that email yesterday that they were fired, right? And yeah, she's claiming an unhealthy business model and whatnot, but you have to claim a reason like that to get rid of that many
Okay,
people.
like, did you see
So,
that?
uh,
Here's one example. Sorry to cut you off. There is 14 layers of management for a specific studio. That's like a construction site that has 14 managers to get the job done when you really only need like maybe 2 or 3. So keep this in mind too. The way that the employee structure was done for studios and how it's kind of done now. Think of this. You have like Xbox is like the head of the, of the division, right? You
right,
have like 6 other branches underneath that that actually work on the game and make it happen. Because with Xbox and much like others, there's not just one studio making it. Like with Call of Duty, it's like 3 or 4, right? So you had
right,
different levels of management, so on, so on, so on. So you can clearly tell a Call of Duty, for instance, that the same people making it now are not the same people making it from like the Call of Duty 3 or 4, like the really good Call of Duty games era. It is a wacky game with crazy everything, and people are not even liking it anymore. So the output of games is not where they want to be. And maybe because there's too many hands in the pie saying that, one person could have 5 different managers for the same project. How is that efficient? It's not. So, I'm not trying to justify what she's doing 100% here. I mean, because I'm not just like an Xbox fan. I'm just trying to say there's reasons behind this, and I like I quickly said, I'm very sorry for those who lost their jobs. It sucks, especially in this
it
job
does.
market now. But if it's so inefficient where one person has 14 managers or so to do their job, as an employee, do you feel like you're just overwhelmed? Because obviously each manager is going to have like a priority and it wants you to do it. And now, if you have 2 different bosses saying, get this done now, this is more important than anything else you're doing, but the other person saying that too, who do you listen to without getting yelled at? It-
Yeah,
it's, is the workforce and the workload too much for people and it's causing issues getting the final product where they want it to be? That's a question that I don't know that answer 100%, right? They do. But like, I want to hear from the employee side, those that are still there. Is this restructuring going to be better for morale overall, for stress levels and everything else? Because in the gaming industry, there is so much pressure to put something out every year. And I don't know about you, but making games is not something I'm the best at. I can tell you that it's not a simple process, especially when you have a lot of people doing the same thing, right? Or the overall project. So maybe this restructuring is to ease the burden of employees too. Because if this is the issue that they're having, or one of the issues they're having, this might be a change that is needed to have everything work better. I don't know. This is just me speculating completely. Like, there's nothing hard to find that explains this 100%. Right? There's always this fluff that they say, we're restructuring, we're doing this, 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 this. That's what everybody says for the PR, right? But is the core changes better for the employees overall? Is my question. And what I want to know is, if you're an employee of Microsoft in the Xbox division, is what's happening making sense to you if you're still there? And explain why. Or is this just a complete, like, awful choice? Now my best friend Bob is getting fired. I hate this. I'm leaving too.
gosh
Like,
darn it, not Bob.
I don't know, you know? I'm just trying to play the other side of things because I want to know if this is what it has to happen for it to be better. Because, Quasi, you can't probably tell me the last game that came out of Microsoft that you cannot wait to play or that you're playing right now, right? You're just not.
Yeah, I
You're
probably
probably not
can't.
playing anything Microsoft at all. I am with Gears of War, but the new game is gonna kinda be ruined for me anyway with things they're doing with that. So my point is, if that is the overall market now, people don't wanna play it, they don't like him, they're kinda moving towards other developers, what are they gonna do? They gotta make changes.
This is true.
So does that change your perspective a little bit? Not to set aside the fact that people losing their jobs, that part sucks, 100%. And I hope they get a job somewhere else for sure. But
Yeah.
does that sway a difference in perspective with this for you?
I mean, 14 managers is kind of insane. Yes,
That's one of the reasons behind it.
but also I like I don't know. I think where I'm at, my I don't know. I think I'm gonna be on the opposite side of layoffs no matter what. Cause that's like I said, it goes deeper than just the game. Like if okay, if you're firing somebody, here's actually what I hate about companies. Companies don't have to tell you before they fire you, but they expect you to give a 2 week notice, right? If they gave them a 2 week notice, okay, thank you for the heads up, right? I can get my life affairs in order.
I agree
I
with
can go
this.
home and tell the wife, hey, we're gonna be broke. Let's start saving. We got 2 weeks, right? Obviously, they're gonna get severance pay and whatnot, but like, still,
Maybe.
it's. I thought
Hope
severance was like mandatory.
I just don't know if it is. It might be.
Oh, that's not good then. I take it back. I hope they get severance pay.
Well, like,
Uh,
if they do, it's like a one lump sum, and it's usually not, like, good. You know, they may give you 1 or 2 more paychecks, but they're not gonna, like, help you out completely. I don't know.
Yeah,
This is just speculation. I don't know. But can I just say there's 2 points I'll make this too. So, one thing she did say is the Xbox business is currently operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than the industry. Big issue. And what they're saying is that the structure of Xbox with the 14 layers of managers and management is overly complex, and employees have mentioned this several times. So there's that. There's also what they're making and outputting for games has failed to meet almost every goal that managers and even Sasha, whatever her name is, has set. So like what they have for goals as a company and what employees are saying to the higher ups and stuff is not getting met, right? So,
yeah,
what if this restructure is also part of feedback from the entire employees saying, "Hey, I got 14 managers, 4 of them want me to do this, the other want me to do this, and I'm getting pulled 8 directions and I just don't know what to do anymore. I'm about to lose my mind physically." You know, what if that feedback is getting heard by her, she's actually making changes to help them out. What if there's some managers that are just complete, what's better to say, not nice people? What if they're just like power hungry people that, you know, just work them to the bone and they're asking for vacation, they deny it or whatever, like those kind of people within any
yeah. I hate
company.
those kind of
W-
people.
What if what they're doing here is removing some of those people so it's a less stressful environment? Like there could be good reasons why this is all happening. So I'm trying to say. Maybe people that are getting fired deserve to get fired. Maybe
Oh
not all
wow,
of them. I'm just saying, I know
20% of the
working
workforce deserves to be fired.
I don't know, but if you have 14 managers, Quasi, are you gonna have a good time in any job? No. No way 14 managers all agree with what you're doing and makes sense, and, you know, it's too much. So, I mean, there's so many different points here that kinda make sense to me, but also it sucks, and I'm sure that's a hard choice to make as a new CEO being there for less than a year, and people are like, "Well, you don't know what you're talking about, you've not been here that long, like, you don't know us, you don't know our background and all this other stuff," but there's gotta be a reason behind it, and the thing is she's vocal about it. She has responded to media about what she's done and the reasons behind it. Unlike Sony, that just does whatever they wanna do without any recourse.
I just don't
You
see
know?
that we're talking about Xbox, and I think your obsession with Sony is kind of weird, Adam. Maybe you should come over. You know,
Just look at the facts, not my opinion here. She made a choice, she's explained why she's done it, And then when there was news outlets that were asking about this,
Sony explained
she's
why they
responding
why
to
they
them.
changed. Sony
No,
explained why
they
they
made a
changed.
statement, and that is it. Nothing else has been said.
Oh,
Nothing.
okay. So she made a
PR is
statement.
told to be quiet, and that's an
Okay.
issue. You know, it's a drastic change, you know? Like if a township fired the entire police force and said nothing, would you wanna know why that happened?
I mean, I'd be a little bit intrigued.
Yeah, they made a major choice. There's a lot of questions and no answers. That's my point. Makes people happy here, you know? Here, not good choice. There's reasons behind it initially, and then there's been a response after the fact. And she's still doing it now. She's responding to major news outlets and to people, and she's going on Twitter and responding there too. All I'm saying is there's transparency and there's communication, which makes you feel like that their voice is being heard. When someone's saying, "Hey, this sucks," and so on, there's like, your mom might say you cannot have free pebbles this week. And the kid cries, cries, and cries, and the parents don't say anything back to him, don't make any explanation. It's kind of more difficult for the child to understand. But what if that mom says, "Hey, this week we can't get it because we're going on a trip next week and we need to save some money for that. Maybe we'll get it next week when we go on the trip." Now there's understanding of why that choice was made. You see my point?
I do, in fact, see your point.
That's my point. Am I saying that both choices are great? That's not what I'm saying at all. Right? It sucks for people. It sucks for as a whole, but at least people's voices are heard, and that's the biggest thing I think people want more than anything else. Besides changing stuff, right? So that's my whole point of this. And am I saying that this is something that needed to happen? Maybe not necessarily, but at least I have a better understanding than I do with the Sony side, where I don't know. I don't know why they did what they did, and we probably won't know. That's the sad part.
Well, we do know. Sony told us that they're
Why?
going away from it because the market is showing that people that they said consumer trends heavily favor digital media, right? And it also greatly benefits their publishers by eliminating manufacturing costs and effectively it kind of kills the secondhand game market, which is good for Sony's publishers, not as good for you. But they it's not like they were just like, hey, this
So
is
we're just
happening now.
making a choice to benefit us and screw the consumer. That's what they basically said.
No, not exactly.
Nothing of that benefits
The
the end user.
consumers, Adam, you don't understand. Not I don't know two friends who have I don't even know one friend who has a physical game today for their current generation console.
Okay, so
Not one
Quasi,
friend.
what if you are playing 2K tonight, right? You're in a game, you're doing good, you beat like 4 people that are randoms that are supposedly the best in the entire world. You get to the 5th person, right? And this person is as competitive, or if not more competitive than you are, right? You're playing a game, you're in it for 2.5 hours, you're at the last, 5 points in the game, right? There's a layup, you're down by 1 point, and now guess what? There's like a 3-point shot, he loses, or so you lose, and now he talks the most trash about you and your mom. And now you respond with how Quasar's gonna respond. Not a good way sometimes, right? You're gonna get back in the sky, and guess what he's gonna do because you made him mad? He's gonna report you, and now Sony favors him because he's a younger kid than you. You should be more responsible and bans your account, right? Okay? Now, all your games that you purchased, gone. You cannot buy them. Not they can't buy them again. You cannot play those ever again without rebuying every single game, which may or may not be on sale right now. Okay, so now Quasi has to, if he wants to play his PS5, get a new account, rebuy all the games just to play them again, and then download them. Now, let's not forget this little thing they can also do. What if Sony favors this guy so much because his uncle works for Sony, right? Which they always say. Now they console ban you, which is also a
Yeah.
thing, which is
Um,
not just for Sony. This happens with Xbox and Switch and everything else too. I'm not gonna say that doesn't happen. I'm saying though, if they do an account ban and a console ban, you are just SOL.
this is true.
Does that
However,
make you
they
feel
wouldn't ban
okay?
me. They're not banning me specifically. Like
No,
anybody else, that could be an issue for,
if
but they're
they
not
do a
banning
console
me.
ban and an account ban, you are just screwed. You have to buy a new console and make a new account and rebuy all your stuff again.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'm not worried about that issue. You know why? I don't lose. You know, like
Okay, maybe you
maybe if
don't
you said
lose.
college football, yeah,
Maybe you
I've
don't
lost and I've got
lose.
upset and
But
I got
what
on the
if
mic and
you
cursed somebody out. I'm
well,
not
what if you
perfect.
just made somebody so upset because of your trash talk, which Quasey definitely does, I do too.
I'm I'm horrible at it,
Like
guys.
when
It's
I beat
bad.
Quasey at the pool game on iOS, he gets upset, it just happens. So, if you beat someone, they get super upset and just out of spite says the most egregious things that may not be true about Quasey, right? He threatened to kick my dog. In fact, he came to my house and he killed my dog and sat him up in the face. Probably never happens, right? I'm just saying, what if he convinces Sony so much that Quasey needs to be banned from the console and your account, and that happens? Maybe you didn't do anything wrong at all, Quasey. But I'm just saying, people do that kind of stuff just out of spite. What if your account and your console gets banned? What then are your reactions to this?
I'd be pretty upset, but I
Okay,
mean, anybody would be pretty upset.
so that means buying another console, right? And then from scratch, buy your entire game library again. Which, if you had just ballpark guess, how much would it cost you to rebuy all your games just roughly? Don't look up the exact number.
Um, well, I have like I have to put all the same amount of money I put into it already in
No.
because I think I
No,
have
no, no,
like
no, no,
50
because you
plus
might got stuff
games.
you might got stuff on sale, you might
Yeah,
got stuff I'm talking about let's just say there's not a sale or maybe there is right now.
and I
You're
have to
you're gonna
rebuy my
prob
whole game
you're gonna
library.
probably spend another 3 to $400 on games, if not more, right?
It's most definitely more, but I think that for the most part, I would stop. Right, and then my number one thing would just be get 2K, get college football, and get Football Club 26, and then maybe Madden, and then
My
that's it.
point is, okay, let's say
That's
this
still like
happens to you. And you
almost
did nothing
$300 though.
wrong but just play a game and be better, right? You didn't trash talk like that. Maybe you did a little bit of trash talk, but like the friendly banter back and forth. Not the like,
Right.
I'm gonna stab your mom in the face, right? People that actually deserve to get banned. Maybe you didn't do that at all. But like that happens. Now you gotta buy all that stuff again, is my point. This could happen on Xbox, this could happen on Switch as well. But if you have the physical disc, Quasey, you can just put back in your console that you should buy again, or if it's not console banned, and you have to buy that game again. That's my point. So like that's just one massive example people are trying to say is if that does happen, you're just cooked. And that's an issue. So
I can see that being an issue.
and that happens. That's not like an overwhelming that doesn't happen too often. That happens often because people out of spite will do that just because you made them so upset. Maybe they are the best player in the world until they made a game with you. And you destroy them in great multitude. Like it's 65 to 2, right? And 2K or whatever, right? And
This
now
has
they are
happened
so
before.
upset because you ruined their entire life in their head that they will do whatever they can to make your life miserable. People in the gaming industry do just this very thing because they're faceless, right? They do what they want.
Right.
I'm just saying that is a wild example, and this can happen like it's on any platform, but that is something that can happen. So, like, is that fair to you because you did nothing wrong, that with the new changes that are occurring, that you had to buy all that stuff again? And let's say that happens again, okay? So let's say that you do lose all your games and your console gets banned. Are you, Quasey, gonna just buy another PS5 and do it
No,
all
I'd
again?
probably take a break from gaming
Or are you
for
gonna,
a
like, would
while.
you go back to PS5 or would you go back to Xbox? Just a question.
I mean, if I got console banned, I'd probably go back to Xbox just because I have games
Yeah,
available.
just throwing
But
it
like
out there.
if I had no games available on either, I'd probably buy another PS5. Yeah, because it's also $100 cheaper,
All
and
I
I
have to
can use that
say
extra $100 I'm saving to buy whatchamacallit, to buy more games.
all I have to say, um, it sucks this is happening, but there might be a good reason for it, and I kinda wanna hear from the employees to see if this makes sense. If this doesn't and they're just removing people just because, that sucks. and bad on her for doing that. But if there's a good actual core reason behind this that makes it better for the company, it sucks, but it's better overall, right?
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
business side. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, we should go to the next topic because we've been talking a lot about this, but it's a
Yeah,
big
probably.
discussion, you know? It really is.
All right. So, next up from 9 to 5 Google. Not 9 to 5 Mac, guys. 9 to 5 Google, their sister site. Um, we're seeing that there's new leaked Galaxy Watch. Um, sorry, a leaked Galaxy wearable app revealed the design and the redesign for the Google Watch 9. Right. So, or sorry, Samsung Galaxy Watch. I don't know. I said Google Watch. Um, so the important part you should know. There's gonna be Gemini integration into the watch with like a raise to talk feature. I think that'll be pretty cool. It's supposed to look a lot like the Pixel Watch and have like a floating bottom bar and face tab that displays a render of the watch's or a render of the watch over its selected face. Obviously, for a smartwatch, it's going to have some health and fitness tools. Those are getting expanded on, including a new feature like daily cardio load and recommendations like sound exposure and trail run maps and whatnot. And then this redesigned app is expected to officially roll out with the new Galaxy Watch 9 and Watch Ultra 2, which we should be seeing later this month. Hopefully, I covered all of it. If I missed something, please let.
So I want to bring this up for a couple of reasons. One, it's good to show competition, right? Either we're Apple focused podcast, you don't want to show about other stuff as well. I just have a question for you, Quasi. Could you show them in the picture what the
I
actual
I
watches are?
actually
And
I can't share my screen today. Yeah,
oh, I can try to do this. Might look really bad, but let me
don't
try
worry. We
this.
believe in you, Adam. Guys, live on the podcast today, the first time Adam's ever sharing a screen.
The
You
reason
guys are getting
why
insider stuff.
the reason why this is something that is not necessarily the best because when I do this, it usually just fails. So that's why Quasi usually does this. Okay, it's working today. Good. So if you look right here, this is just a question I have. I'm not saying this sucks or doesn't suck. Okay, this is right about there. Okay, so you know how the Apple Watch looks now, Quasi, right? You
I
have an
do know how
Apple
the Apple
Watch.
Watch looks.
I don't know. In my head, this is just me. The UI and a circular watch doesn't make sense to me. Here's why. If you look right about here, what's happening with the app, Quasi?
Well, you see, it's getting cut off.
It is. Now, in a circular watch in a UI, as you scroll, content gets cut off, right? So now you can only see two lines of actual content very clearly, right? The animation of the Apple Watch. Now, I'm running beta. I'm kind of show you really quick if I can. This is
We're
just not
taking a look.
working.
Yeah, it's just there you
This is
go.
not working. Hold up. Hold up. Boy, I wish this would work. Is it because I have it the wrong way? No, it's because Siri wants to. Okay, let me show you like this. Ugh. See how it kind of disappears at the very bottom and it zooms in, zooms out? To me, that makes more sense in a UI standpoint. I know a watch has traditionally been a circular device since like God made them or something, but one thing I just don't understand for a smartwatch is the circular design. And I get that from like a UI view when you go into like the very far left one, right? That is designed for a circular interface and that works great. I think all apps or even reading is it gets hard because now you can only see the middle and some of the right beneath it, and that's about it. As you scroll, you can't see much of the interface. So for me, a circular watch doesn't make quite sense. That's a smartwatch because of that very reason. For some aspects, it makes sense, but not for all of them. So I wanna know what people think about that. Does that make sense to you? Do you not like that idea? Do you think I'm just going crazy, which people usually do, and that's okay? But I'm just more curious because for me, the cuff at the bottom kind of distracts you from the overall view of what you're trying to see. Because if I'm looking at an article, for instance, right, or a picture, I can't see all that on the screen because it gets cut off. And I wonder why that's the case in my head.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not saying I hate these watches, that's not what I'm saying at all. In fact, they're kinda looking nice, but I guess overall, I just wanna see what people thought, but this is actually having a look. This is the confirmed, um, basically watches that are coming out according to the UI, and I wonder what you guys think below because it's kind of nice in a way, but the UI I think could be a little bit better. So, I just wanted to, show that really quick and just kinda see how that's gonna look and what you guys think, but, Quasi, do you like the new watches coming out this month? Or are like, if you
I
didn't
mean,
have
I'm not gonna
Apple.
buy one. Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
when I was
so,
running a Samsung, I wanted a Samsung Galaxy Watch, so it's not like
so would you say that if you were not an Apple user and you're looking for a smartwatch, you would choose the Samsung over the Pixel watches?
yeah. I would definitely choose a Pixel Watch.
What about
It's
the
not that I
Garmin
don't like the
one?
Samsung. Ooh, I've heard a lot of good things about Garmin, but
So have
no,
I.
because my ex had one. That's that's where I'm at
What
in my
does that have
life.
to what's that have to do
That's
with
just where
anything?
I'm at in my life. It's just where
I
I'm at in
mean,
my life.
okay, okay, I see, I
I'm
see.
a
Okay,
like, it's like how my mom drives a Subaru, and so I don't wanna drive a Subaru. It's a great car, right? I just don't wanna be a follower, you know what I mean?
gotcha. Okay, well, let's move on because we are running out of time. I get that there's things happening today. We gotta hurry up here.
Yeah.
Kwesi, let's talk about the iPhone Fold here.
Let's
So,
talk about the iPhone Fold.
yeah. So right now, due to constraints with RAM and various other things you see with AI, that it's gonna be delayed. Okay.
Unfortunately.
So there's gonna be a limited amount at launch, so there'll still be some, and then it might ship till May of next year to finish off the roll.
May. Wow,
Do you
that's almost
realize
a year
that's
away.
almost that's almost dub time?
Yeah, that's terrible. That's unfortunate.
So
I'm
we're just
really
gonna
sorry to hear that.
bring that up right now, and we'll kind of move on to the next topic. But just let us know if that kind of sways a difference in you purchasing this. I don't think me and
Yeah.
Quasar are buying this still.
I mean,
But if you are and you're going to wait till May to get it because you wait 5 more minutes after the pre-launch, whatever, that's gonna suck for you guys, And we'll see how it
yeah.
really rolls out and see if this is really an issue. But I wanted to let you guys know that, right?
Alright.
Okay.
So from Notebook Check, we're seeing that Motorola is revealing the specs for their Moto G77 or Moto G77 Power, right? And let me just tell you about some of these specs, right?
No, no, just read
The
the headline. Just the headline. What's it say?
Motorola officially details new phone with 3.5 millimeter headphone jack for launch.
It's
I think
coming back.
he's overreacting just a tiny bit, but that's great news, right? Especially because you're seeing a lot of influencers and a lot of celebrities using wired headphones now, right? So you would assume that that it'd be coming back soon. But yeah, I mean, I'm using wired headphones. Adams, or technically these are hybrid, but most over
Mine could
ear
be
headphones
wired
are.
too.
Yeah. Sorry, that had nothing to do with what we're talking about, except for
Well,
the headphone jack.
not only that, as Quasar was gonna say, it has a 7,000 milliamp battery, huge
Yeah.
battery, and 3.5 millimeter headphone jack and a Dimensity 6400 chipset.
Yeah, one of the MediaTek chips.
Yeah, that's kinda cool, but I think that when people thought that the 3.5 headphone jack was dead completely, this is bringing it back, and I wonder what you guys think in the comments below. And would
Well,
you be
I will
getting
let
this
you know that
device?
Samsung has it on like some of their budget phones.
Yeah, but not their
But then again, if
flagship,
you have
though.
a budget phone, you're probably not buying wireless headphones, right? So it makes sense
That's
as to
true.
why.
But if a flagship device is gonna have this, it's kind of an interesting take on this, and, this might be a change in the industry. Maybe people are gonna kinda do this and bring it back. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know if Motorola is exactly influencing the industry at this point in time.
Well, maybe. We'll see how it rolls out. Okay,
This is true.
this is a quick one. For some reason The iPhone 17 Pro Max has been chosen as the phone to put into the time capsule that, the American oh my
You say
gosh,
that
that's
like it's a
a
bad thing,
no, 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 no,
except
no.
for some reason.
The reason why I say for some reason is, if you can believe it, Quasi, this is not the only smartphone on the market. So, I just wonder why they choose this specific model and color and phone
Yeah, I don't know
over
about the
everything
cosmic
else.
orange, but
It
okay.
is a pretty nice color. If it's gonna be a good color, that's gonna be a good color that they could pick. I like it.
I thought I was gonna like it, then I saw it in person and I did not like it at all.
Well, I disagree with respect.
Yeah, I mean, because you bought it. I
I like it. I think it's a little different, and it wasn't an awful orange that Apple could have done. It wasn't like an orange, like a dreamsicle orange that's barely there with, too much white and whatever. But I
yeah,
just want to let you guys know that they are doing this, and it'll be open up in 250 years. So that puts it at 2,276, which is interesting. And I want to know what you guys think about that. So interesting. Just
I wanna
want to let
find a time capsule that's supposed to be open this year.
there.
I think
I don't
that'd
think
be
there
pretty cool.
is. Maybe some like grade schoolers doing that, but. Okay, next one, Quasi.
Alright. Um, so according to this Eurogame article, you can sort of kind of play Mario Kart inside a YouTube video. So a YouTube channel called Atlas Arcade has created a interactive video that kind of lets viewers play a stripped down version of Mario Kart directly within the YouTube video player. And how it works is the creators cleverly used YouTube's 360-degree spatial video camera feature. Guys, I can't talk today. It's really bad. But it allows users to pan around, and by moving left and right, users can effectively steer a racer down Rainbow Road for a short stretch. And with the subs, one of the really cool parts here, right? So back in I think March, I watched a video that YouTube like allows you to put your own new subtitles now, and with that, they're using that ability to be able to have you change characters, and I think that's absolutely insane. And it's not like standard video editing. You can't do this by like just being like Quasi, right? This is a thing that was coded using HTML and JavaScript, and also Python and the MyNam library. I don't know, but while it lacks full mechanics like items or deep gameplay, it serves as a very very impressive proof of concept. So,
I like it. I just wonder if it's gonna be taken down from Nintendo.
oh,
That's all.
absolutely,
That's the only thing. I just tried it, and by the way, it doesn't work. So I don't know what to do
it
with that.
doesn't work.
I followed the instructions. I did the uh, A and D, and it just didn't move at all. So maybe I'm doing something wrong, but for me, it didn't work. I don't know. It's crazy, but I thought it was a really interesting concept, though. And it's kind of cool that
It
they did
definitely
this.
is.
I like it. Okay.
I also
So
like
yeah,
it.
I think it's a cool idea, and I want to see if I'm doing something wrong, just kind of do it again. All right.
All right.
I know we brought this up before, Quase. I just want to mention that as of yesterday, yesterday, the Samsung Messages app officially shut down. And people were upset about this as well because they liked it. It worked well for them, and there's no reason to get rid of it. I don't know if it like cost some extra money to have this or what the reason really was, but they wanted to just shut it down and people go over to Google Messages, right? And people were upset about this. And well, if you were upset and you did not go to Google, well, sorry, you just can't use this. You might as
Yeah.
well just delete it from your phone because it's just useless at this point. Any thoughts, Quasi?
I mean, it was a long time coming. The Samsung Messages app isn't great. All right. I mean,
No, I mean people loved it though. People wanted it to have it. They want the
it's an
option to
app.
have it. I can't believe at this point that someone hasn't like, you know, got the APK, stripped of its usefulness and made like a third party. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they
I mean,
will. But you have like, um, WhatsApp is an option, right? You can use not Proton. Is it Proton? No, it's Signal. It's another one, right?
yeah, Signal.
I mean, what's the most popular texting app would you say, Quasey?
I would definitely say WhatsApp because
Yeah.
I even have WhatsApp on my phone. So,
The problem with
hey,
WhatsApp, though, is
unrelated, my
and
Mac is
encryption.
just like not doing like I'm telling it to close this tab and it's just not closing this tab. So I think it was my Mac this morning.
Boy. Okay, we were trying to blame our platform, but it's not them, so
Yeah.
interesting. Okay,
Anyhow, you want to move on to product and app of the week?
let's do that, Quasey. I'm excited
All
for
right, can I
this.
start?
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is my product of the week. I'm not entirely sure what it's called, but it's like this cylindrical from Paces. It's like this cylindrical sort of power outlet. I currently have my monitor, my PlayStation 5 plugged in, and the only thing I was gonna like redo all my cables yesterday when I bought it, or when it got here because I bought it on Sunday, or no, I bought it Saturday, and it took 2 days to get here. But I didn't get a chance. But it gives you 12 outlets, right? And then on top of that, it gives you 5 USB-A ports, and then it also has a light here that gets kind of bright. It's not as
USB
light.
A? What
Yeah,
year
I
are we
don't know.
living in?
Dude, I couldn't find one with USB. Actually, that's not true. I probably could have found one with USB-C, but I
A
looked
lot of
too late.
USB-C.
I had
But
already purchased it.
it's nice that they're doing that. It's kinda still really cool, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really
Ho
inconvenient for me because I
ho
own one
how many
USB-A,
how many
output.
outlets does it have?
How many outlets? 12. 12
12.
outlets. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. Wow, how much
So,
was it?
it's an upgrade. I don't know, I think it was like $20, but it's an upgrade from this power cord that I was using and that one.
Oh, yeah. You should
So,
have,
should have upgraded that a long time ago.
Queasy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's way more expensive. Honestly, they have some that have a lot more USB-C ports, but
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I
but
didn't look for one with USB-C. I wasn't, like, at the top of my mind for some reason.
that's okay. I mean, you
Definitely
can
slipped
plug
it.
in a USB-C related charger into it, so that's
Yeah.
kinda cool. But you can turn off each little section, looks like, too, right?
Yeah.
That's kinda cool, too.
They actually come turned off, and I thought it was broken, and then I realized I'm just an idiot.
No,
Like, I just
that's so it's not usually somebody doesn't usually have that kinda into something. Okay, it's pretty cool, though, and 10-foot cord with it.
yeah,
Wow,
it's pretty long.
cool, I like that. Alright, what about your app of the week?
I have no clue what my app of the week was. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, yeah, Stats FM. So, everybody loves to see their Spotify Wraps at the end of the year, but I'm never surprised when I see my Spotify Wrap because I already know what it's gonna be because I have the app Stats FM, right? It gives you your stats after every week,
I forgot,
and
Quasted, you're a Spotify user, I'm sorry.
I think it also works on Apple Music. I'm not entirely sure, please don't quote me on that, but, you can also share your stats with your friends and see what they're listening to, and I just think it's a cool little app.
Oh, boy.
What about you,
Okay.
Adam? What are your products and app of the week?
So my product of the week is it's a Rove R2 4K dual dash cam for rear and front of your car with an include a 120 gig SD card. So what's really cool about this, I don't have this per se, but looking at the reviews and stats, this looks incredible. It's on a big sale right now too. So if you don't have this day and age, a dash cam in a car you drive, get one. 'Cause you can't get a mile on the road without running into some stupid people, right? And, what if they run into you? What if they brake check you and then you run into them or, something really crazy? Like, what if a telephone pole falls on your car and
Yeah, I'd be
insurance just
very
doesn't
upset
believe
about
you?
that.
I would be very upset too. I'm saying is you want proof that you weren't the cause of the reason the accident happened, right?
Yeah.
So, my point is, this is something that I think everybody should have, and not just this, but really anyone, but this is a 4K one, and it has good read and write speeds, it's fast, has really good it looks incredible if you look at the pictures of the actual it's super clear. But what's great about this is it proves let's say a cop pulls you over and says, "You're going at 85 miles an hour." I clocks you. They don't ever prove that to you. They can't prove it, right? It's just what the radar gun says. I can say what I want to say, right? Maybe they're being truthful, maybe they're not. But you can say, "Hey, Mr. Court people, I was only going 65 miles an hour and a 70. This cop's being straight up bogus today because I'm wearing a green shirt. Well,
And
guess what?
he has a thing against green shirts.
I'm just saying that could happen. So I'm trying to say is this it proves that you did not do wrong and the cop was being a big bully, or whatever you want to call him. So what I'm trying to say is not just for cops, but for really any other reason. Like, what if something happens to your vehicle? Fun fact: if you have a vehicle in a parking lot, like a Walmart or Meijer or whatever, something happens to it while you're parked, unless you have video proof, they will do nothing. So that's just a little fun facts. Well, if someone runs a cart into your car, right, or backs in your car because they thought they had it in drive and when they reverse, right? Maybe it was an accident. Whatever the case is, you want to have a dash cam because at this point in time, if you don't, and something happens and it was not your fault, you can prove it, and that's the best thing. Cameras don't lie, my friends. That's what I'm trying to say. So
Cameras
this
do not lie. I
for
can
a
confirm.
$107.99 currently, you can get this dash cam. And man, for that price, it's a really good price. I think you should hop on this. So, my app of the week. You're probably gonna be asking about that next quiz here, right?
Yeah,
Well,
I
my
was
app of
very
the
curious.
week, let's just kind of go with, right now, there's a World Cup going on, right? A bunch of soccer, lots of soccer.
Lots
Well,
of
EA
soccer.
has got you covered to place on your phone. It's the EA Sports FC Soccer
FIFA.
Mobile 26.
Ah, yes, I used to play that game. Now I only play FIFA on the, or it's not called FIFA anymore. I gotta stop saying that. It's called
It's
FC
FC.
Club or Football
Yeah.
Club.
And it does
But
look like it's free. You don't have to pay to play this game, right? There's in-app purchases
this
because
is
it
true,
is
but there's
EA.
a ton of in-app purchases.
Oh, I know. There's a lot. But if you just want to play it, maybe on the go or whatever, right? I'm not saying this is the best version to play. You can, and that's kind of cool. So, brush up on your skills and see what you can do with this, and just let me know if you like it. It works on iPad and for iOS, so kind of cool. And I think that this is for Mac too. Nope,
I
just
don't think
those
so.
two.
It's a
And that's
mobile game,
okay.
that's why.
That's okay. Well, just letting you know, because we're going with the World Cup right now. Lots of things are happening with soccer. Maybe,
Yeah, the
on
US
commercial break,
lost
you can
last
play.
night 4-1. We got touched inappropriately. It was so bad. Let me tell you something, right?
Oh!
Here's what happened,
It's like
right?
Mexico
Belgium
lost
scored the
too.
first goal in like 7 minutes, right? Okay, that's not terrible, right? I think in like the 24th minute, the US went and scored our first goal, right? And then 61 seconds later, Belgium scored again. I was distraught. I was It was the worst day of my life yesterday.
My wife's watching it too. She's a fan. Mexico, it's kind of their thing, right? They're all into soccer. She think they do
Yeah,
great, and
I think Mexico's out the tournament too.
they
Actually,
they
Mexico
lost.
ca
So
all of the host nations yeah, all the host nations are out of the tournament now. It's really
that's so
unfortunate.
sad. Yeah, man. I want to get into it
But
more. I kind
France
of
all the
like it.
way.
I don't know if I like that. You
No,
know,
no, no, France is arguably the most stacked team in the entire tournament, and so I will be bandwagoning for the rest of it. But, I will say guys, I'm sorry, this is, like if you don't care about soccer, you can click off now. But, Erling Haaland with Norway, he's oh my goodness, that guy just every time I see him, he's scoring a goal. Like, I can't look at his direction, he's not scoring. He's so tough.
that's good.
But
I
yeah,
mean,
him and
it
Kylian Mbappe
is.
are my favorite players, so and then France also has Ousmane Dembele, who's also
I
really
just
good. I think
can't
he's the current
say
Ballon d'Or holder.
I can't say some of these names of people in sports. I'm just not that good yet. I mean, I need to
Oh,
be better. So
yeah.
you
I
you
mean,
had that
they
with
have
me.
there's so like, I don't even know where to tell you to start when watching, soccer because there's just so many leagues, there's so many,
My issue, I guess, with soccer more than anything is right now at the World Cup. It's when they start playing it. It's like bedtime when they start playing it.
yeah,
For
no,
me,
some games are really late.
that's my only issue. Like, I don't dislike the sport at all. I think it's kind of cool. I know it's kind of interesting that like in the United States, where was it crazy that like they drank the entire volume of alcohol the entire state had, and they flew in the next morning more from Europe, and it was still not enough.
I have no clue, I
That
didn't
was
hear about
definitely
that.
something that happened with the World
I
Cup
mean,
because
I
it was
don't
the
doubt it.
Irish. Irish came
It was
and
definitely the Irish people, I
they just destroyed all the alcohol, like, drank multiple beers and whatever, right? I thought that was just very interesting. It's like, man, if you gotta fly in overnight more because your entire state is dry, my goodness, as an interesting concept to say the least.
yeah.
So Well, anyway,
All
guys,
right.
thanks for joining us this week. We're excited for next week for some more topics, more things happening, and maybe we'll see some responses to what we talked about today and just let you know what's going on. Thanks again
Yeah.
for watching us. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you next week in the One More Thing Tech podcast.
All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.